Coming up next on the Legacy Journeys podcast.
She was saying how she's struggling with her weight because you could tell she definitely put on some baby weight.
Right.
I mean, she still looked good though. But what I like was that, you know what, babe? He was like, you look good regardless.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, hell. He was like, the baby helped me out.
Right. He's like, don't lose all of it.
Right. Gave her some breasts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some ass, some thighs.
She was popping out, y'all. She was popping out.
I like that he was real, you know what I'm saying, supportive as far as that. And just reassuring her that, you know, babe, you still look good.
Right.
Like, regardless.
Right. And
not to lose all of it.
Right.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Legacy Journeys, where couples over 40 come to embrace the now, explore what's next, and evolve their relationship with real talk, real love, and a whole lot of laughter. I'm your host, Liv, along with my co-host,
Carlton, the host with the most, coast to coast. How y'all doing out there? Hey, Liv, what's going on?
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You looking good, too.
Thank
You
you.
know, you're always looking fresh. I have to make sure I compliment you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
You looking good as well.
Well, my wife picked these things out.
Yeah, she does a good job.
All right, y'all. So, we're going to hop right into it. Have you all been watching Nelly and Ashanti's We Belong Together?
Yes.
Now, my wife talked me into watching this reality show, and she had some good reasons, good valid points. You know, like they're both over 40, which is our target demographic.
Right.
And they're a couple, they're married.
Right.
And they're working through, learning how to be married because it's their first time, both first time being married. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So it's both their first time being married.
Wow.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a tongue twister for me.
Okay.
It got a little hectic for you, boy.
Yeah, I see. I see.
So you talked me into watching it, and I think it was, overall pretty good.
We only watched the first 2 episodes.
Yes, so we're gonna give you the review on the first 2 episodes,
right? And
then we're gonna give you some more as we go along,
right?
Another video.
Yeah, so we're just gonna do 2 at a time. We didn't want to overwhelm y'all, or also we didn't want to spoil it by just watching the whole thing and just giving y'all everything, just in case y'all want to tune in and watch it, because we want y'all comments on this. So yeah, I did talk them into it because I'm like, why not watch this? I mean, they're in our demographic. She's 44. He, I guess, just turned 50. So I'm like, why not? And see how, they're handling things as newlyweds.
Mm-hmm. Which is cool.
Right.
So the first episode is called Break Up to Make Up. And so as we were watching it, I'm thinking it was set up like a documentary almost because they,
right.
You know what I mean? It was kind of set up like that.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't kind of get the reality show feel until toward the end of it.
The end, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it was
they had to give us like a rundown, of
right.
the past and when they got together the first time, which was, I don't know, 2003?
Yeah, somewhere in the early
2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were together for 10 years, so
right.
They broke up in 2013.
Right.
And just, how they got back together.
Yeah, after 10 or 11 years.
Right, in 2021, I think, at the Versus.
Yeah, the Versus.
That's how they got back together, right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so and it did start off with her birthday party,
right,
which was pretty cool, and they showed them, on the way to the birthday party, and then they had some, back and forth in there, and I didn't realize, like I was telling you, I didn't realize how witty Nelly was.
Oh yeah.
So he's a funny dude, and I have to remember.
Husbands of Hollywood. Yes. That show is still funny to me.
Look, he got a line in there that we say all the time. Bobby Brown.
Oh no, he said he ain't looking like No, he said he looking like old Bobby. He didn't say Bobby Brown. He said old Bobby. Y'all gotta check out that episode.
Yeah.
Husbands of Hollywood with
Real
Bobby
husbands.
Brown.
Yeah.
Where he was trying, I guess, come out with a record or something.
And he wanted Nelly to produce it or something like that.
That shit was funny.
That
as
episode
hell.
was hilarious. So we be saying that.
Right.
You know,
and so yeah.
But it wasn't like, to me, like what the reality show.
Mm-hmm.
The real reality show, not the Real Husbands of Hollywood.
Right.
But We Belong Together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it came on, like I said, they showed the birthday party on the way to the birthday party. And them just having conversation, you know. And it did kind of set up like a documentary, but like even at the birthday party, it was a surprise birthday party. Right. Which was even better, too, because it was a surprise she didn't even know. Right. You know what I mean? But he was saying witty things there. You know, and it was really cool. He said he liked her family and everything. Yeah, and it was good. Like they shared their family dynamics, their backgrounds. Right, right. You know, and for her, it was that her parents were married.
Her parents are still married.
Right,
and so she comes from a two family parent household. Mm-hmm. And he was saying that his parents had broke up when he was younger, and that in the midst of that, his mom. They struggled and, she did what she could for them. And it was a lot of moving back and forth, I'm sure to other families' houses or whatever. Yeah. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic because she has an idea of what a husband should be like. Right. Based on her dad. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And probably seen other people in her family. Right. And, he had to discover that. Right. Right. And they seem really good so far.
I mean, yeah, so far they seem like they're happy. I mean, yeah, they seem like they're happy so far. Yeah. I mean, I like them together. So I'm listening to a lot of people talk about it already, and they're saying that like she's settled, and I'm like, well, how do you know that she's settled? Like. Yeah, I don't understand.
What does that mean? How do you know this? How do you people out there in social media world know that she's settled? Right. Do you know them? Do you know what they were looking for in a mate? No. Do you know? Yeah, because I can go on, especially like being in the industry. Mm. Like when you're in the industry, like the music industry, entertainment industry, yeah, everybody that you meet ain't gonna think like you, and they ain't gonna understand the level of what you gotta do to go out here and grind out. You know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't be with a woman, and I don't think either one could be with a mate for somebody that's got like a 9-to-5 job.
Oh no,
because they would never understand, why you gotta go.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Like
you were
he
always
was saying
going.
How he was on tour. And she was saying that he was going to be gone, for a while, and they got a newborn. And so I'm like, yeah, that's got to be hard. Right.
And his mindset was, listen, I got to go make this money. I got to go take care of his family because he's got other kids. Right. Right. Well, they're older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, his kids are grown. Adults. Right. Yeah. And then he's also taking care of his sister who passed away. Mm-hmm. He's taking care of her 2 kids. Mm-hmm. So he basically got 4, and then they have this newborn. Right. Which I'm curious to see how that, dynamic, because he did a lot of, I ain't going to be changing diapers.
Right. I ain't in New York. Yeah, he said, right. He did say that he wasn't changing diapers.
He wasn't changing diapers. He was like, yo, we can get a nanny. Right. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't even mad. I mean, but then again, he's 50 years old and he got 2 grown kids. Right. And I know a lot of people were saying that also, like, oh, she about to be, she's a single, married woman. And I don't know. They were just going in. And I'm like, what's the deal? Yeah. I just don't know, but I can understand where he coming from. As a 51-year-old, yeah, I'm not trying to raise any more kids. Right. Or deal with any babies. Right. And I guess to me it seemed like maybe she wanted a baby or it happened, you know what I'm saying? Clearly they said that because they was like, their pregnancy, right, wasn't like a oopsies, right? You know what I'm saying? And so they were trying, I guess maybe they weren't not trying.
Mm-hmm. Right. They were not trying.
Right.
You know,
and
to
so,
have a baby. They
right.
Like, if it go down, it go down.
Exactly. And so I guess he figured, you know, maybe I'll just, because she wanted a baby, I'll just give her a baby and just, I don't know, let her take care of it.
Here's the thing, though. Here's
What?
the thing.
What?
Well, again, back to them being in the entertainment industry and being rich. Like he said on one of the episodes, I think it was episode 2,
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, I'm rich.
Right.
I can afford to have a nanny.
Mm-hmm.
Several of them if you want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not finna sit here and try to play like we struggling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And neither one of them are struggling.
Right.
So I think people, you know, when people, they're confused. You know what I'm saying? Because they're looking at things from their perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
yo, these people can have this. You know what I'm saying? Even like with the birthday party, right? So I was looking at the birthday party scene and looking at it like, you know, a lot of these reality shows when people when they be going on trips and doing different things and going and having different events, the network be done paid for a lot of that stuff.
Oh, true.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they coming out of their pocket
right.
to fund this stuff.
Right.
Nelly could come out of his pocket and fund that stuff.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like, yeah, man, people, it's humans. That's, you know how I am.
I know.
You know.
I know. Like I said, I was just reading a lot of the comments.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I get what they're saying about, you know, how he was behaving as far as the kids. He don't want to change diapers. And he was, you know, when he was when they were in the not the trailer, but when he was talking to Jermaine Dupri,
It was like a trailer,
he was saying that for the first couple of years, he was like, I told her, like, yo, that baby gonna be with you. It's gonna be on your lap.
Because my man is like, yo, I ain't finna sit on
right. Once it started talking and walking, he was like, you know, he'll be with the crew. He know what to do then.
I mean, I understand that.
I understand that too.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's just us. Because, yeah, I could see a man doing that. You know what I'm saying? He already got grown kids. His wife want to have a baby. And it's like, look, okay, we going to let you have this baby.
Right.
You take care of the baby and do the mommy thing or whatever. And when it gets to be like a toddler or whatever, okay, I'll come in and do my thing.
Right.
You know, but hey, I digress.
Yeah. I mean, he was supportive though. You know what I'm saying? He was supportive throughout.
Supportive.
Yeah, he was very supportive throughout.
Even when she was struggling with, you know, because she had a performance. She had the Motown Christmas special that she was invited to do or asked to do. And she was struggling with whether she should do it because she's breastfeeding.
Right.
You know, and she's a new mom.
Yeah, and it was her first time.
Right.
Having to leave the baby for a show. Yeah, so it was a lot of, that was, yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
As a first time mom, because he was even joking about that, talking about y'all seen them commercials where they be like moms, the first time moms, and it's like, they gotta wash everything, and they're so, oh my God, germs, and you know, and then they have another one. It's like, you leave them with whatever.
Yeah, they giving the baby to the mechanic.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what commercial I'm talking about? Yeah. And so, you know, he was talking about that, and I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But other than that, to me, I didn't see anything, you know, wrong with their interaction.
Right.
I mean, they were trying to decide whether they should live in New York or he wants to live in St. Louis because that's where his business is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I get that too.
Right. And on her end, her
family,
is there.
her support
base,
system,
especially with the newborn,
is in New York. Which I get.
Now,
I get them wanting to be in New York right now, but. You know, and then, of course, people was like, oh, he doesn't want to compromise, and who wants to live in St. Louis? And I'm like...
These people got all kinds of opinions, boy.
Yes. And I
guess we doing a review, so that's our opinion, too.
But not to where, she's settling for him, and I can't believe that. And why would you go back? And you shouldn't hit the block once you left. That should be it. And
I mean, people do change if they want to,
right?
You know, and it's been
and it seemed
11 years.
It seemed like to me, it seemed like they have both matured.
Right.
You know,
talk about when this guy was in the height of his career. Yeah, it's probably women throwing panties at him all the time.
Still are.
You know,
so it's just a matter of how he handles that now that he's married.
Right.
I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, they're gonna be fine.
Regardless, there's no relationship that's perfect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, when you have a newborn, yeah, it kind of changes the dynamic. But not to say that, because I know, again, I was reading comments and people were like, well, why this grown-ass man talk? Because do you remember when he said that he was second to the baby?
Yeah. That was one of the witty things that he said during the birthday thing. He was like, yo, it's talking about my baby and my man. Like, yo, I don't even get a chance to hold the baby.
Right. And I don't even think he meant it like that. Like he coming second to the baby. I
think he was just being witty at the time.
I thought he was too.
You know, I don't think he's like upset. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't think he's upset. Yeah. But you know what? One of the interesting things about them talking about where they're gonna live is that they rented a temporary apartment. And they were talking about the furniture in the apartment, how it was tight and hard and stuff like that. So one of probably both, I don't know, it was mine.
Favorite part?
Yeah, my favorite part.
Is at the mattress store?
Yes, at the mattress store. Oh my goodness, that was, I just got that first episode just gave me a whole new respect for this dude. Seriously.
Really?
Yes, it did, because I didn't know this dude was that funny. I mean, they're scripted in Real Husbands of Hollywood. That ain't no real reality. They're acting. Right. You know what I'm saying? But in this right here, he not acting, man. Right. They had the camera on his face. Oh my goodness. So what was the name of the place?
It was called Heston's, but it was spelled Haston, like Heston's.
Right.
But it was pronounced Heston's. And so they go into this mattress store. And they's like, oh, okay, lie on the mattress. We want you to have the full experience. They put pillows there.
Right. They had an appointment, though.
They had an appointment with a guy named Charles, sales rep named Charles. So they laying there and they tuck them in. And so Ashanti was like, so how much is this mattress? Dude says $76,000. Nelly was like, get your ass, look, you better come on, get your ass out they shit.
Boy, if you don't get up out these people's shit, and he start getting out of the bed, like, what the hell?
$76,000.
Right, he's like, you don't get no headboard,
and then the salesman, Charles, was calling it an instrument.
Yeah,
he was like, an instrument? Wait, we still talking about mattresses?
We still talking about mattresses?
Yo, like, what the hell, an instrument?
Yo, and then they went to another, because they had the people, didn't you say they had the people tuck them in? And it was elaborate.
It was nice how they did it, but $76,000.
And look, and then they had some that were more.
Yeah.
Up to like $1 million.
Oh, and then they were in another one. That was $315,000, y'all, for a mattress. Ashanti, oh my God, it was so funny because Ashanti was like, well, what about your shoulder? He was like, damn that, I'll roll.
Right, I'll roll over on the
other
side. He
said, I'll roll over on the other side.
Yo, that part was hilarious.
Yeah, that part was hilarious.
Yo, that mattress was $315,000. Yeah.
Like, what type of, like, he was like, I don't think I deserve that much sleep.
Right. He's like, shit, I'm getting the hell up out of Charles them shit. Charles and them. He said Charles and them. He said, I'm getting the hell up out of Charles and them shit. Look, when the man told him it was $315,000, you could see his eyes like
he was like, oh, hell nah. Come on, I'm about to get up. We about to get up out of Charles and them shit. And yeah, it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. And it was cool that that just because he got money, he still remembered his roots. And he was, they segued into him growing up and him having, he's like, he didn't get a bed till he was like 8.
Right.
his own beds. He was sleeping on couches and sharing beds with people and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, but it wasn't worth
$315,000. I was like, wow, I know mattresses are expensive,
right?
but that seems like an awful lot.
Yeah, what is it gonna do? Like you said, it need to have,
It
you know, the
needs
mattress
to
that
be
sit
the
you up and do all of that.
Sleep
and
number or something. It need to be able to sing me
Put
a
the
damn
knees
lullaby.
up. Yeah, do all that.
Massage me while I'm asleep.
Play music.
Look, if I'm hot,
Right.
I'm gonna need a cool fan or something to come on.
Yeah.
315,000. Yeah, I don't think I need that much sleep.
That bitch better turn into a car.
Nah. And that's what he said. That's a Ferrari.
He was like, damn.
For a mattress.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
that
crazy.
was good. That was good.
And so what else was there?
Well, like I said, I gained a lot of perspective about him that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and one of the things, you know, they let it play out about her having the challenge, and that's kind of how the first episode ended, was her, you know, being torn between leaving the baby. She didn't know if she wanted to take the bus out there, and Nelly was like, nah, you don't want to take this bus.
Yeah, she was talking about taking a bus from New York to LA, like,
right, with a baby.
Girl.
Yeah, with a baby.
No.
So I mean, it probably just something that popped in her head and out, right?
Right.
They talked about flying
commercial. Why she didn't want to fly in a jet.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it could have been the cost. It could have just been the headache of trying to move the baby around and all of that. It was
that
a
was
lot.
The only thing. Because I'm like...
Because I was like, yeah, they
the way she was talking, I was like, why is she acting like they don't have the money?
Because then when private jet, because he suggested it. He suggested, like, take the jet.
Right. I'm like, yeah, I didn't understand that. Yeah. That she'd rather fly commercial than fly a private jet.
Yeah.
And take your nanny and bada bing, bada boom.
Right, because the nanny got enough money. The nanny can go wherever they need to go.
Right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
I'm saying. I didn't understand that part. But, I mean, like I said, I get where she was coming from. She didn't want to leave the baby. And also we didn't mention her mom.
Right.
Miss Tina is her manager. She calls herself the momager, mom anger.
Right.
Because she get angry when it comes to her daughter.
Yeah,
which
I messing with her babe.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
and she look like she don't play.
She don't play the radio. She look Miss Tina. Look, she remind me of Miss Tina Knowles. Like, yo, them Tinas, they ain't playing.
Yeah, she look like she about that life.
Yeah, don't mess around.
Right.
Yeah, you gonna catch one. I can see that. Ain't she a New Yorker too? Yeah, I ain't no cheat.
But she did seem like she, you know, I guess was accepting of their relationship. I mean, what could she do? You know, because she said when she was saying that when they had the versus thing. And she found out he was there. She was like, "Who's that motherfucker here?"
I just saw that mother. Why is that motherfucker here? Yeah, she was good. This was after, you know, long after they had broke up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they gonna run in the same circles. You know,
right?
So
eventually,
right?
Yeah,
and that's basically what happened. So yeah, I think it was good. So we got a couple of discussion prompts for that first episode. Like, did the episode balance the celebrity lifestyle with real family tensions effectively? I think it did.
I think so.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I really think it did. It says, what moment stood out the most? Ashanti's heartfelt conversation or their talks about KK's future, like where they was going to live.
Right.
You know?
Because he basically said, he was like, yo, we had this conversation like before the baby.
Yeah, well, I'm not moving to New York. He's like, his whole base is in St. Louis, and I get it. Do you think the setup does enough to hook viewers who aren't longtime fans, why or why not? So I think it does. I mean, I think it was a typical reality show.
Yeah, and it wasn't too long. The episodes were only like a half hour long,
right? Which
is good to start off with,
right?
You know, if you want to test the waters and see how it go, a half hour was perfect,
right? And I mean, the editing was good, the sound was good, the music was good, the camera angles there. And what's cool about it too is artists, they get to use their own music in there as well, and they can get publishing money for that. You know, that's music business stuff. So yeah, I think it's good for what they're doing. I'm excited to see, you know, more. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think that first episode was pretty good. It got me wanting to see what the next episode was, and that one was called "Work It."
The second episode. Okay. Yeah.
And we didn't take that many notes on this one because it was mostly like showing them actually doing the concert venues and stuff like that. So it wasn't a whole lot of detail to take notes on for that, but it was good to see.
I mean, well, because she was saying how she's struggling with her weight. Because you could tell she definitely put on some baby weight.
Right.
She still looked good though. But what I like was that, you know what, babe? He was like, you look good regardless. He was like, hell, he was like, the baby helped me out.
Right. He's like, don't lose all of it.
Right. Gave her some breasts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some ass, some thighs.
She was popping out, y'all. She was popping out.
I like that he was real, you know what I'm saying, supportive as far as that. And just reassuring her that, you know, babe, you still look good.
Right.
Like, regardless.
Right. And
not to lose all of it.
Right. Yeah. I think that was cool.
I thought it was too.
That was a G move.
I thought it was too. But like I said, when he was talking to Jermaine, I was like, yeah, man, you 50 years old with this little baby.
Right.
Like, how does that work?
Yeah. And it was cool they had a conversation.
When you have grown kids. And that's why I said, to me, it seemed like she the one who wanted a baby, and he was like, you know.
Okay. Right.
You know.
One more not going to hurt.
We'll see if they have another one. I'm sure she'll want another one.
Yeah, I mean, they're in that period of time, though. She's 44.
Yeah, she's 44, right.
Yeah, so.
I mean, why women are doing it now.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, I can't either. I mean, they got the loot.
Starting over at 40.
Well, I think my concern would be more like the health.
Oh, yeah.
The health of the mom, health of the baby. Yeah. You know, you're getting into some 40s.
Yeah.
You know, it can be challenging.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it was good. Like I said, it was good to see her perform. They showed Debbie Allen because she was in charge of the Motown.
She was the director of the Motown Christmas special.
Right, and they showed her doing her thing. You know, doing what Debbie Allen has been doing for years. We're talking fame. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to see that. But it was also good to see Nelly doing his performance in my hometown, the One Music Fest, which comes to Atlanta every year, and I think it's been going on for over 10 years now. So, and it's a black music festival basically. But it was good to see that. You know what I mean? It was good to see Jermaine in there. Good to see some of the other people like Gip. Shouts out to Big Gip. Then it was cool also to see Nelly with his crew, St. Lunatics.
Yeah,
he brought his people in there.
Murphy Lee.
Yeah, so he brought his people with him, you know, and that's good to see that, you know, that he's still rocking with his people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So those are things that I picked out, you know, from that particular episode, you know, and they worked it out with her getting to the show and the baby and everything. But she was concerned about KK, which is the baby's name. She was concerned about that little dude.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, look, I'm not staying later to do this XYZ finale. You know, I got to go. I got a flight to catch. I only got so much milk pump.
Right.
She's like, I don't care what y'all got to do. I'm out.
I guess it was, I don't know, maybe it was for the show, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, I couldn't understand, like, why you just didn't bring the baby nanny and the baby with you instead of going through all that. Because to me, it just seemed like they asked you to do this. You know what I'm saying? You got Debbie Allen here, and you tripping. I ain't gonna say tripping, but like.
Well, I mean, I think they were accommodating to her too.
They very much so.
And Debbie's a mom, you know
right,
what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm saying. So you've been in this business long enough, and I get she's a first time mom doing this, so maybe that's why it's a little different.
Yeah.
But and my mom was like, "Well, why don't you get a nanny?" And you just take the nanny, y'all fly out there, stay at a hotel,
right?
And you ain't gotta worry about all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Pumping and doing, you can just
You got it. There, you got it.
Right. So,
I don't know, but
you're right. That's a part that could have been, you know, they could have.
That's
worked
what I'm saying. Maybe
it
was for the show, or maybe it's just showing her as a first time mom. And again, first time moms are always hands on. Like they don't want to leave their baby, and
right.
I get that.
Right, and I think it was a serious concern for her too, because not only did she talk to Nelly about it in the restaurant, she talked to the nanny about it, and then she talked to her mom about it.
Yeah,
you know, and so yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. I'm
'Cause
glad.
but mom was like, "Yo, you gotta work.
Right, we gotta get this
Look,
money.
we need this money.
You know, we gotta get this money. And you've already made a commitment.
Figure it out, right?
Right, because mom was at the end of the first episode. Mom was like, "Well, we might get sued." I'm like, "Yeah, y'all ain't gonna get sued."
And then I have to say this also. Nelly was supportive in that too, because he was like, "If you don't want to do it,
don't do it.
We'll handle it."
Right.
I was like, "Yo, that's what's up."
Yeah, dude. He
was like, "Yeah, we'll handle it. Like, fuck all that.
Yeah,
I know you signed papers or whatever, but if you don't want to do it, you ain't gotta do it."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like I said, I like them both together, and I hope it works out. To me, it didn't seem like she settled. It seemed like they both grew up. They're both in different places.
Right.
And the time was right. And this is where they are.
Right.
And I think it was, great of him to go ahead and marry her. I think it is, but I don't know. All I can go by is what I'm seeing.
Right.
And I didn't see anything wrong.
Nah, me either. They seemed like they were a happy couple.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, we don't know what's happening with them behind closed doors.
No.
What they presented to us so far.
To me,
I mean, somebody ran up on them with Peacock and was like, "Yo, we need a TV deal. Are y'all open to a TV deal?" So, man, if nothing else come from it,
I wish them the best of luck.
Yeah, me too.
Because, like I said, I didn't see anything wrong with anything. I mean, they both look good. They both doing well. The baby, well, you can't see the baby, but the baby look like he cute. I'm sure he's cute. And, it is what it is. Like I said, it's hard when you're in that industry and you're trying to juggle everything and marriage, a baby. It's a lot.
Yep.
And there's no perfect relationship. So,
and that brings us to one of the prompt questions. Do you think this episode effectively captured the tension of juggling two high-profile careers with new parenthood?
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, it says in here, did Nelly's reflections on supporting Ashanti feel genuine? Yeah. They seem
genuine to me.
Yeah.
It didn't seem pretentious, because then I heard, and this is all on TikTok, mind you. People are talking about it.
Right.
And they're all like, look, she looked mad. Ashanti looked mad. Like,
well, I don't know the scene you talked about. Remember, I was like, because that's how reality and editors do. They're going to pick a scene. She
had this look.
She had a look on her face like she was annoyed about something.
Right.
Or like she might have been a little frustrated or something.
Right.
But it wasn't that. You could tell that it wasn't even in response to what he was saying.
What he was saying.
Yeah, that was just some
it didn't look right. That was, they just showed that clip of her.
Yeah.
At that moment.
Yeah. Viewers out there know when you're getting played.
Right. And so I'm like I said, I don't know. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought the show was cute. I thought they both looked good. And the love, it seemed genuine.
Yeah.
But he's going to be him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And she's going to be her. So,
right.
I don't think them getting married takes away from their relationship.
No, not at all.
I'm looking forward to the next one, episode 3. So, I don't know. I got stuck just there. So I'm looking forward to episode 3, y'all. So what do you all think about it? Have y'all watched it? Have y'all binge watched the whole series? Drop it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Did you think did it look to you like Ashanti settled for him, as people are saying? I mean, do you think he's not compromising and wanting to live in St. Louis as opposed to New York? I mean, they're already in New York right now.
Right.
While the baby is young, so that she can have her people there as support.
Right. Which makes sense. I mean, that's a compromise in itself. You know what I mean? Once they figure out where they're going to go, exactly where they're going to be, I think it'll work out. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him picking up his home base and moving. Especially because I think he, not that money matters, but he's worth more than her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, his base of operations
is in St.
in
Louis.
St. Louis. So what do y'all think about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe they should meet. Maybe they can meet in the middle somewhere. Somebody said, "Why don't they just meet in Atlanta, in the middle, like Atlanta?"
Atlanta is not in the middle between them. And like that
well,
is.
They were just saying. I think they were just talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my thing is, they could do both. Like,
I said, people say silly shit.
Yeah, they do.
That is not in the middle.
I think they were just being funny. But my thing is, maybe like in the winter time, they could go to St. Louis. Summertime, they could go up to New York. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some type of workaround.
Yeah.
But anyway, let us know what y'all think.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all enjoy the show? Did y'all binge watch the whole thing? Like I said, it was only like 30 minutes and it's only 8 episodes, so it's not hard to binge.
Right.
Watch the whole thing.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. This is our review of Nelly and Ashanti's We Belong Together. We're giving it a thumbs up. We're going to give it a thumbs up.
I give it 2 thumbs up. I like them together. Mm-hmm. I hope it works out. I really do.
I do too. You know what I mean? I do too.
Yeah.
So with that being said, also, y'all, make sure you go to our website and check out www.legacyjourneys.net/swag so you can get y'all some gear.
Yes.
Support the channel. Get some gear. All right. And hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel because we all got all kind of topics for our good people over 40. Real things.
Check out our YouTube.
Yes.
Yes, we need y'all to subscribe.
Yup, Facebook, Twitter, all the socials.
Continue to bring y'all all this content we got.
Yeah, we got plenty of content, y'all.
Yes.
And we got more.
So stay tuned.
Yes. And with that being said, this is Carlton.
And I'm Liz.
And this is the Legacy Journeys podcast where we embrace, explore, and evolve relationships. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.